How did you get to New York City?
I got to New York City. Well, I guess the only way I can explain it was like summer 2003. I got on the open mic stage for the first time in Philadelphia at this place called the Laugh House. And it was me coming off a somewhat mediocre year at Jazz College in Philly. I was at the University of Arts, Philly. I was a drum major. I studied Afro-Cuban rhythms. This is all true.
Wow.
All true things. Clave, bembe, timbales, bells, congas, bongos, and I minored in drum set. And my whole thing was Giovanni Hidalgo. He was the guy when it came down to Spanish music, when it came down to Latin rhythms. That was my guy. I had to study Giovanni Hidalgo, and he used to play five congas at the same. He used to play five congas at the same time. And boy, oh boy, I thought that was it because in high school I was doing that. I was getting little scholarships here and there to do that. I could really hear the music. Wasn't a reader too much, but I could hear a lot of shit, the rhythm of jazz. Yeah. So just me hearing got me all the way to art school. But boy, oh boy, when you can't read music in art school, in a prestigious jazz college, they'll look at you like, why are you even here? So it was a lot of me struggling to play piano. There was a lot of me struggling to play studio. But oh my God, the only thing that got me through is I could hear how the music's supposed to go. So I was in like all these bands that was covering me up. I was in acid jazz. I was in Afro-Cuban drum band. I was in a big band. And I was a 19-year-old. No, 18. I was 18. I was 18 playing in all these bands. So that's what kept my resume kind of impressive. But boy, oh boy, I couldn't read for nothing. So I'm failing piano, and I'm failing music theory, and I'm failing rhythm and diction. I'm failing all. Well, rhythm and diction I did okay, but piano and music theory, I got zeros, and that'll mess up your whole average. So I wasn't even and not in an accredited school. You're not really showing out. It's like it's going to be tough your next year because you might have to go back to these classes. And boy, oh boy, jazz college is expensive. So, I'm racking my brain. But thank God the entire time since high school, I was always kind of funny. I always kept it light. I always knew how to snap. I always knew how to get on the homeroom teacher. I always knew how to get the girls. I always knew how to snap on the dudes. I always knew how to use talking to get out of shit. And boy, and man, I want to say the summer after my first year at Jazz College, I'm kind of depressed because I'm failing. But I remember in school, there was this motherfucker named Andres. I'll never forget Andres. Andres was like, yo, you funny, man. You might be failing, but you do keep us entertained in class. They got an open mic down on 2nd and Front. It's called the Laugh House. I've been by it. It's a comedy club. You should go try it out in an open mic. Just planted a little seed in my ear, and I heard it. I heard him at 18. And then as I heard him, I started thinking about when was I ever funny? So I took it back. I took it all the way back to when I was 3. I used to watch Looney Tunes and then mimic Daffy Duck and Bugs Bunny and then try it on my mom, see if she laughed. And then sometimes she giggled, sometimes she wouldn't. So when she wouldn't, I'd run back to the TV and find some new material. I didn't know what it was yet. I was a hack when I was 3, but I was 3. And then fast forward to when I was 10. Day camp had talent shows. I went up and I used to tell the jokes that my friends told me in school. And that used to work. And I'm making little kids laugh and I'm 10. So I'm like, we in a little 10-year-old Def Jam. We're having a good time. Fast forward to when I was, I want to say 17, 18. At church, I would get up and try to be some kind of funny, making the girls laugh, trying to get my homies to laugh, make your friends, be the guy in the circle, right? Yeah. And then fast forward to that year after Jazz College, the day after I turned 19, I got up the gall. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go see that club that Andres was talking about. 19 years old. I went on stage for the first time in front of a crowd of people I didn't know. And I tried out whatever 5 minutes I tried to write together. It was a Matrix joke. It was a lot of corny shit just piled together. I used my little kid mind to try to go, maybe I can try to come up with something bow. And I get on stage and try it. Didn't get a laugh. Bombed my dick off that night. But all I could remember out of the entire bomb was that one girl went, and I said, that's all I needed. And that was the explosion. That one girl that giggled just a little bit. I was like, well, shit, if I can get one, I can get 3 of them next week, right? And I was always that guy. So the minute I got on stage, it made all the sense in the world. From what I couldn't what I didn't understand in jazz college reading music, for some reason on stage, I understood the rhythm of language.
Yeah.
I figured out how to make a thing with my voice. I figured out how to get a premise bridge and a punchline, put them together, then say it. Maybe that's my music. Maybe that's my angle to this shit. And from that day on, I never stopped. So it was 5 years in Philly. I went from open micer to headliner in 5 years at that one club. And then I swear to God, 2008, there was a comedian named Touré. Me and him was in New York. I was visiting. I was just doing this club called the Times Square Art Center. I'll never forget this shit. And I went on before him and I killed. I'll never forget. I did really good that day. Some shit, but I got the energy right. I landed with the crowd that night. I got on the same page. And Touré said to me, he was like, if you've never heard anything I've ever said to you, if you ever listen to anything I said to you, you got to take your ass to New York. Don't be a local dude in Philly. You got enough brain power. I see where you're trying to go with your writing to be a guy in New York City. You can get Universal. So you should move to New York if you never heard me tell you anything. So I remember the end of 2009, beginning of 2010, I landed in Jersey City and I was taking the PATH train back and forth to New York. And that's how it started. And then I've been there ever since. So all summer 16. It's my 16th summer in New York City.
Wow.
Doing jokes, trying to be somebody. Got passed at all the hot clubs. Been on TV a couple times. Got a couple movies under my belt. Still working to be better at whatever. Trying to get ticket sales and all that. But that's the grind. And then you find yourself just immersed in the job. And the job is being a clown. And a lot of people don't understand. It's a tough job. I mean, it's different, but it is tough. And then if you want to be a really good, stand-up, you got to write a lot. You got to write. You got to kind of force yourself to write. You got to force yourself to experience and observe and live and really access what affects you in order to be that guy on the microphone. So, yeah.
Did you drop out of jazz school?
I absolutely did. Drop out of jazz school. I said, no more of that. Mom, you ain't got to pay no more money. I'll pay off the back end of it when I start making money doing comedy. So, I was kind of confident. It kind of worked out, but so.
I think you said it went from open mic to headliner in 5 years. I'd love to hear about that time, that trajectory. What happened?
Philly might have been the greatest time of my life. Because let me paint you a picture. It was just like, it was Philly. I lived in South Jersey, right across the Ben Franklin Bridge. And, humble little, did a couple years of community college and church boy growing up, but still had an edge. Me and my homies used to call ourselves the tainted church boys because we was being assholes in church, just doing fuck shit. The pastor be on saying the sermon, and if there was a quiet point, me and my homies go like we used to just be dickheads at the church. It's like, yeah, we really taking chances. Niggas was taking chances. Me, shout out to Bink and Breeze, me being my day one dogs. The Tainted Church Boys, but yeah, man, even then, and it was just like courting girls and just trying to be funny, like just why not? And then I remember I was a janitor at my church, so being a janitor there, that was already kind of weird. And then what made it funny was like on Sunday when everybody came to church, my homies be there. I'd take off my janitor outfit and put on a different outfit, and then hide from my boss, and we just be in the cut, just trying to be goofballs, man. And thank God that translated to me wanting to do something, because it was like I was living a double life. Like I'd be a church janitor by day, but I'd be running across to Philly, just going to South Street in the city. Philly back 03, 04. It was different. It was a really cool time, man. It was like Kevin Hart was blowing up from that club. So he was leaving and I was coming in. Like Paper Soldiers was out and Soul Plane was out. And you saw this little guy being this big guy and this shit. And you was glad you was at the club that he came out of. So running back and forth to Philly every night from South Jersey, living a double life. None of my friends knew what the fuck this was. It was just like, yo, I got this thing that I'm doing. I got this little hobby. I'm doing stand-up in the city. Like, you don't hear that. I'm 19 years old. So I'm like, yeah, I got my Grand Prix. I'm going, I had my Grand Prix, I had my grandma's car, my mom's car, but they would let me borrow it to go to the city. Paying for parking. I'm meeting shorties out there, getting off open mic, doing well. I got a little team together. This is where I met Monroe. This is where I met Dave. This is where I met Chris. It's like that 5 years was like, what the fuck is this? This is like playground shit. Because it was like, yeah, this is the serious side, or it's just like simple life in South Jersey. But boy, oh boy, on Wednesdays at 7:00, you had to be in line at the open mic, because there was only 40 slots. And then from them 40 slots, the managers and the owners would look to see who was getting better. And then you get upper end of slot. Like if they would start cutting down, it was like the Hunger Games. It went from 40 slots one year to 30 slots to 20. But you had to make sure you was always going up in the column so you wouldn't miss your stage time. And that's when you build friendships. This is when you build the chops, because everybody was trying to tear everybody was trying to tear everybody's head off when it came down to that 5 minutes on that mic.
Yeah.
Because if you weren't doing good in 3, they get you off. So it was like, man. So every day, every week was like, let me write something down. Let me keep working on my shit, be in the mirror, trying to. And that open mic was so competitive because the crowd wasn't comics. In New York, it's comics playing the comics. But in Philly, it was comics playing the college kids, comics playing the different parts of the city. So you kind of had to be funny because it was a real crowd at their open mic, because they had $5 chicken wings and Coronas, $2 Coronas, or $2 whatever, $2 Heinekens. So you can get the $5 chicken wings, $2. You can have a $7 night. So you can imagine Drexel University, Temple University. These kids was coming through. That's college prices. These niggas broke. So what the fuck can we do for cheap? Let's go to the comedy club. And we'll boo when it's bad, but we'll laugh when it's good. And boy, when you understood that, that was the understanding. Like, shit, we got to perform in front of North and Southwest and Temple kids in here, Drexel kids in here. We open micers. Like, what the fuck? You had to turn up. You had to really go, well, shit, you gotta be good fast. And that's what Philly taught me, to get them chops ready. And boy, oh boy, 5 years of that, constantly. It was like, what do we do now? New York City. And it was just, and that's, you take that kind of energy and translate it to New York City, and then you got to understand how to write universally, because it's, it's the melting pot. Everybody here. It's just not your local towns in Philadelphia. It's not just the black room. It's not just the Spanish room. It's the all room. So you got to be good. And boy, yeah. And that was how it started. That 5 years would have been magic. I never discredit the first 5 years of my career, because it was the base. Those are the 4 or 5 pillars that I needed to start building up. So yeah.
What did you like to talk about? I don't know if there were consistent subjects. Obviously, it needed to be funny, but what was your thing? What did you like to talk about? My whole angle
was, I was a black kid from the suburbs, and doing city rooms, you can front and put on and act like you're from the city, but I didn't front and put on like I was from the city. I told these motherfuckers I was from the burbs, and this is how it went for me. I got eczema. I'm Cul-De-Sac black. I had both my parents, even though they was divorced, they was both kind of paid. So I was getting money from both sides. Christmas was like the Super Bowl, all kinds of stuff. So, just that angle of a quirky, black kid, tall, goofy, lanky, from the burbs, not trying to front like he from the city, but he still digs the city. Like, all my friends was black, and it was like, and I might not have came up in the hood, but it was like, I like being there, but I like being a visitor. And then I guess I was accepted because I wasn't trying to front. Yeah. So all them Philly towns kind of had to accept me, because I was like, well, he telling the truth. You can't be a mad at a motherfucker being himself from the first. He's spoiled, And I'm a spoiled, I was spoiled. I remember I get good grades on my report card. Nana would take us to the steakhouse. It's like, yeah, let's go steak and shrimps for my baby, because he's getting straight A's and 1B. Like, struggle. Fuck is that? My parents were engineers. You understand? I'm a military kid. I was born in an Air Force military hospital in California. They probably put all kinds of cool drugs in my black ass. Like, it wasn't struggle. Like, when I used to watch TV in the hood and I didn't have it that bad. I actually had it pretty good. Shout out to mom and pop. And you go, and this is the angle I got to go on. I can't make nothing up. I just got to talk from this perspective, and I hope they get with it. Like, okay. Motherfuckers like him do exist. And it was like, yeah, I'm Cul-De-Sac black. And that was kind of the whole, so you write everything on the basis of that. So it could be quirky. It could be real silly. It don't have to be some shit that was sad and you had to make funny. It was like, nah, I'm imaginative. I used to draw a lot. I used to break dance. I popped and I locked, and I used to spin on my head, and went to a cool high school. I had my first prom. I had a fucking golden Pathfinder Nissan. I was doing okay.
You said 2008. You get the comment to come to New York. Yeah. Did you sense at that point it was time for something new? At
23, I knew I wanted to go. I started at 19. By 23, I was like, yeah, I got to. Because I kept hearing about it. Because Kevin Hart, when he was doing a Laugh House, everybody used to say, yo, this old dude named Keith Robinson took Kev and he kept taking him to New York. You kept hearing that. That was like the lore in the Laugh House, was this place called the Cellar in New York City. And people used to talk about it like it was Lord of the Rings. Like, oh my God, you go there and there's all these comics that the comics, the comedians from Dave Attell and Dave Chappelle and Colin Quinn, they be sitting in the back and sitting in that back table, chatting and talking to each other, hanging out till all. This is me at 1920, like, what's this place? It's called the Cellar, the Comedy Cellar in New York, and you got to go there, and you leave here and you go there, and if you get in there, you get better, and blah, blah. Yeah, Kev went there, and Kev blew up, and blah, blah. So it was like this, what the fuck is this place? So you can't just ignore that. So after a while, I work, and I guess I'm going to go see about this Cellar and all this shit. And push come to shove, I've been in the Cellar for 10 years now. So I'm a decade dude. I've been there. I'm a 10-year dude at the Cellar. Crazy. We used to listen to it like it was a fucking fairy tale. Yeah. And now I'm in there. So it's like, oh, okay. You got to really follow through. And yeah, man, they used to talk about it so much, the lore. Like to see black men with this glow in their eyes. Like the Cellar. It's a place where, dreams and you become and you get on every night and you become this thing that you always wanted to be, and you might fall off your horse, but when you get there, you're there. And he was like, wow, okay. And it made you go, oh, shit, I got to go see about this for my goddamn son. This nigga over
here. When you got here, so you moved. You moved your whole life here. Did you have work waiting for you?
Believe it or not, thank God, the pastor of my church had a hookup, and I was working for the highway system. So I used to work on the Jersey Turnpike and the Garden State Parkway. I was a janitor. Wow. Believe it or not. I went from janitor to church. I started cleaning toll booths and toll booth plazas and shit and sweeping out the lanes in between cars, trying not to get hit. It was like, yeah, man, it was, that was tough, but that was the day job to support the night job because running around New York, you ain't gonna make money at first. So I had to make money during the day, pay rent, to live somewhere in order to get out at night, to get on the open mics, to run around the city, to try to figure out what's going on. And I did that for a while. Because when I moved I was 24 when I moved. And I lost that job when I was 28. So for 4 years on a union job, thank God, you can't get fired that fast on a union job. Yeah. So I got suspended a lot because I was always late. I was always calling out, trying to do shows out in Connecticut or whatever. Or I used to hang out till 4 or 5, be sleep. and wake up late for work or get to work and be sleep at work because I used to sleep in the slop closet where where the mops and all this shit. I used to come in, take trash out. Howdy y'all, good to see you. Like act like I'm just bright for work. As soon as 8 o'clock hit, I used to lock myself in that fucking slop closet and sleep till 1 p.m. It used to be crazy. I'll wake up right at lunch. And go to lunch, play dominoes with all the guys, and then go right back. I was getting a lot of money off the state of Jersey. So but it was worth it because I was only preparing. I was sleeping during the day to get ready for the night because I didn't care. Who the fuck cares about being a janitor? The rest of their life? Get the fuck out of here. Those people. Everybody at that job. Oh, you got a full-time? You a full-time janitor? How the fuck you get full-time? Because I got hooked up. And then you can get a pension when you're 55 and you can start salting highways. I'm like, this is in y'all dream path? Salting fucking highways? Are you out of your soul? Like, the New York City skyline is right there. Like, I can see it.
Yeah.
You mean tell me that's too far for y'all? That used to boggle my mind. I'm like, nah. I'm doing this shit different. As soon as I can get out of here, I'm out of here. And when I turned 28, I lost my job. And I was like, well, it's time to do this shit full time. And it was tough. But boy, oh boy, I got in there. And then I got my first big TV gig when I was 30. And then it was a lot of moving back and forth to my mom's house to get on my feet to get back to New York. But I was always going back and forth. There was a big time where me, Monroe, Dave, and Chris were driving back and forth to Philly to New York every fucking night for like 2, 3, 4 years. And that was tough. But when I turned 30, I landed this MTV gig. And that solidified enough bread that I can get a real apartment in New York, in Brooklyn, Bushwick, where I live at now. And then the whole time. So it was like, just work hard. It's going to hurt. But you're a dude. Dudes take hurt different. Yeah. Just, knuckle up.
So 24 to 28, you're grinding. You're just taking basically anything you can get. What's that look like?
Yeah, man. 24 to 28, just a lot of venues, doing gigs outside the city. Anything that you catch some money on. Italian restaurants. That was pretty
Really?
Cool. Yeah, man. Some of these some of these restaurant gigs you do in like Jersey, Mafia ran, and they trying to clean money. Pay the comic a whole lot. You get a lot of bread one night. Like, how the fuck did I get $1,000 for 10 minutes? Like, just like you think about it later. You go, how am I in where was it? What was it? Patterson? Not Patterson. What's around there? Where The Sopranos take place?
I don't know.
You don't know? Not Plainfield, New Jersey, not Newark, but surrounding areas of Newark, them little pocket Italian towns, little Spanish restaurants. You could, little Italian spaghetti spots. You could do a dinner and a show, walk out with and don't be like, never mind. I don't even want to think about it. But no, and there's those you could do. There was a whole lot of shows in Jersey I was doing. Shout out to Newark. Newark was a scene. Shout out to Rashawn Reese. Shout out to Jonathan Martin. Shout out to Tommy Too Smooth when he was out there. Shout out to Cool Bubba Ice, Sing Media and Jay. Like these the Jersey guys. I was running around. My boy Ace Brown. Like we was just, you could find what you could find. If New York wasn't popping, North Jersey, and then make sure you get to New York to go hang out or get up at the Village or the Grizzly Pear, or you doing open mics at Dangerfields or the Comic Strip. You running around trying to get up at New York Comedy Club. They had an open mic early and all this stuff, and it was just run around, try to find it. Badslava.com. You on badslava.com trying to find a directory on what open mic you could get and get over there. Try not to do bringer shows. Don't let them pimp you. Oh, don't have some booker tell you to bring 5 people with a 2-drink minimum and a ticket price because they making money off your fucking head. And I'm like, dog, you getting pimped to do your little 5 minutes on stage. That don't happen to me twice. And I was like, you know what? Never again. And man, 24 to 28, just find what you can find. Upstate New York, Connecticut, just talk to people. It was plugging. You had to plug. And you had to find something to do. Sometimes it didn't work, but when it worked, you was like, all right, I'm working. When you get motivated, you get a spot, you get $100, you get $100 to $200, something like that. You run around trying to do spots in Harlem. You run around trying to do spots in Brooklyn because these are all the spots that you can get on. It's black comic. You don't know nobody, but they'll let you go up. If you bomb, you're going to get it. You're going to get teased. But if you can get them, you start building your respect up. You start building those city reps.
During that time, I'm assuming you can tell you're getting better. And did you continuously have the sense like this is what you're going to be doing? This is what you want to do?
Because more and more I got up, the funnier and funnier it got to girls. There you go. That's all. Sometimes all a dude need. More girls start, fine. And then, all right. And then, or you'd find yourself on stage where somebody did bad and you did good. Or you have a cool conversation, or you get passed at a club. Or you start seeing that you work in this club more. Or you start seeing that all the stuff that you've been writing down is starting to log itself together. You start seeing people get opportunities and it's around you. So if it's around you, you know it's coming to you soon enough. If you're not doubtful and scared and insecure, you just got to be happy for the people around you getting stuff because, or at least you're around the right people, telling the right kind of jokes, so you in the right crowds. And then soon enough, you get your shit off, and then that's what I did, just trying to be funny because everybody around me was pretty funny. I was like, damn, I got to hold up.
The MTV opportunity, how did that come about?
I auditioned. I start going. I remember when I got signed to Gersh, 2013, after my first Just for Laughs festival in Canada. Did my thing, went on stage, did my little shtick. This lady, wonderful lady named Jennifer Craig, she's one of the heads at Gersh. She saw me. She was like, I like your thing, and I want to sign you, and blah, blah, blah. And then
Gersh is an agency?
Gersh is an agency, yeah. There's all the big ones, but Gersh is like just in there somewhere, But they've always held me down. I've been getting fly-ass auditions ever since. But I remember when I got signed in 2013, the whole thing was, you got to come to L.A. and do pilot season. Come to L.A. for a little while. You got to be bi-coastal. You got to kind of live in New York, and you kind of got to live in L.A., and you do the clubs while you're out here, and you audition for TV shows and movies and all that shit, right? So I did it. I played that game for 4 or 5 years, and in that first year, my best year on pilot season, I landed broke-ass game show. There was this guy named David Magadoff. Shout out to him. Very successful guy right now. He out there in L.A. cooking. Me and him were co-hosts for this MTV show on MTV proper, so I thought I was really doing some cool stuff.
Wow.
And we auditioned. We did like a proof of concept on Venice Beach, asking people stupid questions for money. And lo and behold, it worked out. And we had 2 seasons of that. And when I landed that first season and got that first check that had like commas in it, it blew my mind. I was like, this is crazy, man. And I made a mistake. I didn't spend it right. But just to see how, if you keep working hard, stuff starts, working out. And that show was kind of like the thing that started getting me everything. Because granted, it wasn't necessarily easy, but it was easy to audition because I guess the thing was, it was reality TV, right? And I got enough money off that. But when we didn't get a 3rd season, it hurt me. Because I thought I was going to redo my contract. I was going to be part of pop culture because I'm like, this game is popping. People know me in the street. Oh, that's a dude from Broke Ass Games.
Wow. Yeah.
So in New York. And then when we was playing those games in New York, it was popular. It was hysteria because they knew we was giving out real money. And when we lost that show, I remember it was an unscripted show, and I couldn't get. I don't necessarily think you get residuals from unscripted shows.
Oh, interesting.
And that really pissed me off because I'm like, all right, since we not coming back and I can't renew my contract, it's going to be tough again. So I auditioned for a couple other shows. I actually landed this one improv show on MTV2 called Joking Off. And that was a couple seasons of that. And, it was good. But then when I lost it, something clicked. I was like, you know what? I'd rather act because you make more money when it's scripted. So I told my agency, only put me on things that's scripted. And then after that, that's when it turned into a thing. Because I remember my first scripted gig was, I did 3 episodes of the Ladder, Will and Grace. So to go from reality television to sitcom TV was nuts. Like the transition was it was so fast. I had to learn. And when you got to learn with Sean Hayes on the spot, like it was like, all right, this is the fucking gauntlet that I'm prepared for. So to go from that to really memorizing and learning the beats, rhythm of how the joke is supposed to be said, I was like, okay, this is what I was always preparing for. This is kind of like what I fuck with right here. So when you read the script and it's supposed to be a comedy, I found myself in a good pocket. So it was like, all right, when they talk, when they say they thing, you got to drop it like, crowd laughs. All right. And then that's when I was like, yeah, I'll do this scripted
There's
stuff.
a musicality to that.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, I understand that. So when I started doing scripted, I never looked back. And I'm always do scripted from now on. I'll just take the hard route and just keep auditioning for movies and TV because I just like it. It ain't like, I know everything is social media. I know everything is YouTube. But I just like movies and TV. It's like, what the fuck? I know that the platform is different. Not everybody watches. No, not everybody young watches TV. Old people still watch it.
Yeah.
Cinephiles still watch movies. People who like TV shows still watch TV shows. I'll do it for them. It was like, I'll get my chops up for the people that still fuck with TV. It was like, all right, yeah. I'll do the social media stuff because I have to because I'm trying to sell tickets and all that shit. But I just like the action. And you got to forget that there's 30 people with cameras and all that. Get that out of your mind and be in the scene with this person that you acting against. And I always thought that was really cool. So I thank comedy for getting me to the point where you'd be like, okay, I understand the rhythm of how this scene is supposed to play out. And you got to talk and you got to be funny and quirky, or you got to find the timing, or you got to try to translate what the writers are trying to convey, like all that shit. And I was like, all right. So yeah, so when I lost reality TV, when Viacom chased presidents and snatched Broke Ass Game, I was heartbroken because I was making some real money. And when that happened, I was just like, all right, fuck reality television, acting. And that's how that went.
How does that work fit into your life with comedy? Is it 50-50? In terms of priorities for you, where does each rank?
Well, it is kind of tough. It can be tough because you want to get good on both ends. Yeah, I'm a little hot. I'm sweating. I'm sorry.
Turn the AC on.
But it can be tough, but one kind of helps the other. Because if you're really trying to work on an act out on stage, if you acting for real, it should be easy to do the act out on stage. And it gives you kind of an edge. It kind of gives you a little bit. Now, I'm not saying I'm the best, but it gives you an edge to know how the fuck you want to get this joke across. Like, how would I do it if it was on TV? Or how would I do it if it was on a movie? Well, I get to do it live. So work that. Work those. So when you write it as if it was something in a script that you would really, like, say there's a joke you want to say where I got a joke where I talk about being 41 in a gentrified part of Bushwick. I'm like the elder on the block to all these new Gen Z kids. And when they see me, I'm doing 41-year-old stuff on my block because I've earned this block. I don't care if you took it and put all these new apartments up anyway. I'm out there smoking weed, listening to Wu-Tang, doing my nunchuck practice. Now, when you tell the crowd you out there doing nunchucks in the heat in 93 degree heat in Brooklyn, you got to kind of act that out. You got to kind of let them know where you're going. So you got to really act out nunchucks and doing your form and kicking the air. And now you saying things while you're doing it to keep them engaged. And you got to set up a scene. So if you acting and you're doing stand up, it's easy for you to set up scenes on and off stage. So it's like, okay. So I think one helps the other. One scratches the other's back. It's pretty cool. And if you know how to manage it, you manage it. Because I know everybody that's doing movies and doing stand-up, and then sometimes the real dedicated hoofers, the people that do stand-up, whatever city they in, they find a stage to go play. When they cut for the day, they'll go run to a comedy club and get on Trot 20 just to keep it tight. Shout out to all them SNL motherfuckers that's always after when SNL takes a break or when it's Monday or Tuesday, they run into the club to try to work on some shit before they got to go back and work with Lauren. Yeah. So you watch, I watch all that. The sketch artists, you see the sketch artists trying to get hot on that mic. You'd be like, okay, yeah. So it looks like one helps the other. So
you said you've been past at the Cellar now for 10 years.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear about the story of how that went down, how that happened for you.
Well, shit, we all wanted it. And Monroe got it first. Okay. And then that kind of tied fire under my ass. Like, well, shit, I moved out here first, but this nigga got passed before I got passed. It wasn't jealousy. It was like, well, fuck you, dog. I'm glad you hot. Because he had Last Comic Standing. And that Last Comic Standing run he had like 12, 13 episodes. And he had to do new sets on every episode. And he was cooking every episode. So he was getting all these quick opportunities. Like, so Keith got him in front of Esty way before I could, because he was on an NBC show, and then he got it. And when he got passed, it was like, all right, Ro got passed, and he was doing Comedy Central shit. And I was like, this motherfucker's really cooking. So when I got MTV, when I got that broke-ass game show, I was like, Keith, all right, I got a real credit now. I'm funny on a TV show. You got to get me a rep. And Keith got me the rep. It was a Friday night. I'll never forget. It was 12 o'clock. I had a dumb red shirt on. And I remember everybody was sitting in the hallway. All my friends were sitting in the hallway, just hoping I ain't fuck up. And I remember Esty was sitting down there, and I got to doing the jokes. And about minute 2, I had him up. Like, I had him up. Like, everything I said up to 2 minutes was cooking. And the rest of the shit went great because I got out of my head. And then I saw Esty give me the light at 5. And then when I walked off, she was still walking with me. That's the key. When you get off stage and the booker of the club, Esty, she walks with you up the steps. That means you made it. But if she leaves before you done, you out of there. So it was like, oh wow. So she gave me a little note card, and I wrote my first weeks of avails on that shit. Wow. It was fucking nuts. And then when I got passed, that was 2016. And then I felt like I was part of that story that they was telling back. Yeah, at the laugh, the magical story. The Cellar, you go in the table, and then when you sit back at the table, it's half off your meals because they. When you get in, they cut 50% off your food bill. So now you eating cheap wings and you eating steaks and salmon for half off, and then or if you go around the corner, you get the shit for free. Like, it's like, oh wow. When you start, it get less hard when you start killing out here. You ain't got to find shit. Paying for food ain't the same. Like, it was like, oh, here are the little perks of being a real comic in New York City. It was like, yeah, if you had to sell you a real comic out here, like you that guy. And like, yeah, all the other clubs count. But when you can get this one and all of them, all right, you jumping around the city a little bit. You in Manhattan. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, you doing comedy downtown. That's that fly shit.
I mean, that must have been one of the most important 5 minutes of your life. Were you nervous? Did you know
Absolutely,
you were going to?
Because if you don't do well, it take 2 more years. It take 2 years to get back. So just that 2 year purgatory, you not being a Cellar dude. And now you're seeing your friends in there going downstairs, going around, running around, getting stacks of bread, getting paid cash from fucking 4 different venues because there's 13, 14, 15 shows a night. Oh, God, yeah. You don't want to be left out. You don't want to be the outsider looking in. Granted, there's a lot of people that have to go through that, but I didn't want to be one of them guys. So I was like, if you get your 5, you better kill them. And I was like, I'm going to kill them. And, so.
You said you had to get out of your head.
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
It's tough. You really got to step into, and it don't work every time because I don't know, some artists, I wish I could be the artist that's never in his head and is always on stage. Yeah. Like you see them guys, you be like, God damn, I'm jealous. Them motherfuckers always in the flow state. Like this nigga can just go, make everybody laugh, people throwing shit, going crazy, fucking babies are being born, all this horse shit in the crowd. They somersault, flipping crowds. Bitches pulling their titties out, niggas doing high fives. You be like, God damn. And you back there like, can I do that too with the bullshit that I got in my diary? And then you be like, fuck, be naturally funny and can I, you got to own the room. And if it's quiet, you got to hold them. And it just, are you even good enough, motherfucker? Huh? Jump off a bridge after this show. You know, it's just all kinds of shit going on. But you got to dig through that to find the through line and just go up there, have you fun, and make sure you just saying shit that ain't nobody thinking about, or they are thinking about, but you the vocal point to say it, and it's you got to kind of let go. You got to let the comedy gods use you. You got to go up there and really loosen up. And when you think about that, it makes you try to get out of your head. Because when you're in your head, you're not doing what your heart is telling you to do. You up there throwing furniture around, and it's not coming out right. When you think too much, sometimes your tongue flub, and then you don't get the word out right. Yeah. Or you fuck the joke up, or you skimp the punchline, or you jump a tag. And I hate those. Yeah. And you go, fuck. But when you in the flow state, when you know that you're great, when you know that you can get this crowd, when you know you trust your material, when you trust your personality, and you can just go out there and anything you say, and you know you're the funniest cat in the room. That's when it happens. And that's the flow state is what I'm trying to find. That Miles Davis shit. That fucking, can I just play that so what? Can I just get the sound out? The sound gonna come out good, but whatever the fuck happens, it can be hilarious. And that's my goal in stand-up. To be like a monk up there. To be like a fucking just a drunken master. Just everything just comes to you. And then you can make it whatever. Crowd work. Bye. Make a big joke. There's a joke. You got a bunch of material that you wrote, but you see some shit that wasn't there before that's there now. You make that a joke and that becomes something. Or when you use everything around you, like that spirit shit, that spirit, but like Goku, when you do the spirit bomb, you got to pull something from everybody. And then it's like that level of, I'm so good at this that I'm just in the pocket. Yeah. And that's what you try to find. That's what I try to find. I don't know what the fuck everybody else is trying to find. But me, it's just that Zen level of jazz-like looseness on stage for you to be able to say anything that's funny, put shit together that never would be funny, turn funny, dumb shit funny, crowd shit funny. It's just like, bah, bah, bah. You up there, take the time just to be the dude at the joke house. Because you're the joke house. You ain't trying to make points. You're trying to be hilarious. Yeah. So it's like, or if you make a point, make sure it's hilarious. Yeah.
5 minutes, but at that point, you had put in almost 15 years.
How about that? That's sometimes shit. That's usually how it goes sometimes. It's like editing. It's like you'll edit down, 60 hours of shit for one hot hour or whatever, edit down 30 minutes of shit to get that one good minute and a half. Like, it's tedious, especially if you take it serious enough because you want to get the stuff ain't nobody thought of. You want to be original. You want to have that left turn. How the fuck did he whip that up? Because when I first moved out to New York, I ain't lying. The two comics that used to kind of scare me, and I guess that I admit this because I'm not scared anymore. But Mark Norman and Dan Soder, back in 2010, 2011. These motherfuckers was killing. And I'm like, I don't even know if I'm gonna make it out here. How do you write that? Or how do you even see that? Or it was like, what? Like I used to see these back in 2011. I should have. gonna have a tough time out here. Or when you see the black comics like the Capones and the fucking Rob Stapletons or the who used to murder like Kareem Greens of this world. When you doing Mochas in Harlem, when you see or you doing the Harlem Theater. You see how they just up there effortlessly working. I remember it was Wendy Williams used to have a Wednesday night, and Capone used to host it, and he used to do 45 minutes in between each comic. Wow. And every comic can't even follow the host because the host's up here having a time. And it's unfair because he's taking so much time in between each comic to get the crowd back on just look at me. Yeah. And you go, God damn, how I'm going to break this comics? I'm going to break the audience from Capone killing so hard to get my little 5, 6, 7, 10 off, whatever, But that's what you watch. And you go, it's possible. You can see motherfuckers crying in the crowd. You see people doing standing ovations. You see people running to get the picture after. Go, how do you do that? Even when I was in high school, watching Dave Chappelle's Killing Him Softly and Chris Rock's Bring the Pain. Yeah. I used to watch Chris Rock Bigger and Blacker, and the intro to that special is so goddamn hard. I always shed a tear. I get one solid like a pussy, but like a fucking comedy softy. But fucking Chris Rock, Bigger and Blacker, he got the line all the way around at the Apollo. Dougie Fresh on stage. And it's Chris Rock 99, Chris Rock show on HBO. The motherfucker done had 2 specials before that killed. And you see everybody in Harlem headed into the Apollo to see Chris go up with the black leather suit. Yeah. And the way they started is backstage. Chris Rock is backstage. This is how they started. It's on a screen. And he's drinking water. And then give it up for Chris Rock. You see him walk up the steps behind the scenes, but you see it on the screen. But the coolest part, I don't know why to this day, Chris Rock hands his bottle of water to some white lady. Like, bitch, hold this. And he walks on stage, goes like that, and the crowd jumped the balcony before he even said anything. Like they understood. And Chris understood. I'm about to drop a classic on your fucking asses. And I was like, damn. At 14, I was like, what the fuck is that? That's like amazing shit. Like, what? To see that. And then right after that, Dave Chappelle drops Killing Him Softly. Like, what? I'm in high school. And then right after that, Kings of Comedy comes out in the theater. What? Yeah. I went and saw Kings of Comedy in the theater 4 fucking times because I couldn't understand how Bernie Mac was murdering like that. I'm like, he's up, niggas jumping around, running, people taking pictures before. Everybody, all the girls dressed, got their hair done, nails did for motherfuckers to go talk on stage. What's that? What is that? I need that. And that's why, that's what you chase. Yeah. And you go, that's fire. That even back to Eddie Murphy on Raw and Delirious. But yeah, in high school, when you was really trying to figure yourself out and you saw those 3 things back to back, Bigger and Blacker, Killing Him Softly, Kings of Comedy, you in school trying to do the whole, you doing the Bernie Mac voice back and forth. So you get in the Cellar. What did you have left to prove? What else did you want to achieve? What were your goals after that? The Cellar's just the beginning. That's really just the beginning. Yeah, okay. So when you get in, that means you entry level hot. All right, you hot on an entry level. What you gonna do now that you in here? It's like the league. You get to the league, you gonna ride the bench, or you gonna be starting 5. Yeah. So when you get into the Cellar, how funny can you get now? So you funny enough to get in here. Now build. Let's see what product you build. Let's see how hot you can get. What parts? What shows you closing? Are you going last? Are you going and all you had to do was prove to yourself that you're good enough to stay there. And then you can progress in the hot club. So when you could progress in the hot club, you're a hot comic. And then out of that gets opportunities. And out of that, you get you writing shows on the side. And of course, you trying to pitch ideas, but it's pitchable now because people hear Cellar. They look at you like, oh, okay, he's legit. He's in the NBA. Or he or she is legit. And then, there's always somebody in the crowd. The celebrity drop-ins and all that. Or you know who to hang with. You know who you're talking to. The networking is better. The food is good, blah, blah, blah. It's a mix. You in the mix. And it's just what you do in the mix. And then you build from there. And then when you doing comedy every night and you working during the day trying to be on TV and all that, it all kind of comes together. And then you take your ideas and see how much you can iron out those ideas and it's good enough for a Comedy Cellar stage. And then, You're just trying to prove yourself on a higher level. Yeah. It's just working at a higher level. That's all. When you get in, are you ready to work on a higher level to stay in? Because if you bombing at the Cellar, you don't stay there long. Yeah. That's real. I've seen a lot of people get past and then not get worked because there's a level you got to hit, especially, and the staff is watching, everybody watching. So you'd be like, oh. Yeah, but then after
I would
a while,
imagine just being around that kind of quality of talent is probably likely to help you build.
Absolutely.
What else did you do? Did you change your habits? Did you work harder? How did you try to build and get better over those years?
Hustle harder. Do as many shows as you can. Be available to doing, like when you be available and know how to play the city. If you're in the Cellar, know what days you can work for SD, know what days you can work for New York Comedy Club, know what days you can work for Gotham, know what days you can work for Dangerfields and the Strip. Just don't be good there. Yeah. Be good everywhere else now. Because now you building up hot material everywhere else to display it at the comedy. So I hate to sound like that because it is a showcase club, but when you use the other clubs to tighten up the jokes that you want to say at the Cellar, it looked like, oh, wow, okay. He always sharp here because I'm working other clubs to stay sharp. I'm working on new material here, because sometimes they get a little weary of you doing new stuff at the Cellar. Yeah. It's weird. It's like an unwritten thing. They try to give you like, don't you be working out too much not funny shit here at the funny place. So to counterbalance that, you either just do it and make sure it's hot, or you just work the other clubs and put them little new ones in the middle to keep building up your repertoire, keep building up the armory. So when you ready for the Cellar, when them jokes is ready for the Cellar, you popping off hot new shit. Like, oh, okay, look at this guy. Look at this. A new 5, a new 15 here at the Cellar. Oh. And they, I got my picture on the wall. So it's like, if my picture's on the wall, I'm going to keep it on the wall. I don't want you to take that down. Because I had to earn that. Yeah. I had to really earn my headshot at the Cellar on the Cellar wall. So I was like, yeah, that's deep.
Was there a moment where you felt like I have finally made it, or is there no making it?
There's no making it for me.
You just stand in the
because
game.
I always want something else. Like I'm never happy with it, and I guess that's a problem. That's probably why I should probably go to therapy. But I'm always trying to outdo because I hate to compare myself to other comics working, but there's motherfuckers out here that's killing. I'm like, how the fuck do you like that? It's always like, I want to take another step because there's always somebody doing better than you. But when you don't look at your own achievements, sometimes they can drive you crazy. Yeah. And I've had that happen to me a few times. But, you really look back and the stuff that you're doing, you see that you're on the right track, but you on your track. Them motherfuckers on another track. You don't know what they had to do or what to get through or what mental or whatever they fucking got going on for them to be on that track. Now, and, you envy all the tour dates and all that shit, but are you ready for all them tour dates like that? You're not prepared like this person prepared. You gotta walk, you gotta run your own race. So it's like, just keep running your race. But made it? Never. I just always go, what else can I do? Because I'm young still. I'm about to be 42. I still feel pretty good. Yeah. So I might as well just keep working until I'm satisfied with some hot new content. I'm always trying to put out a new picture or a new clip or a new trailer or a new something. Just keep the ball rolling. Like you made it, you're making it. It's not that you made it, but you're making it. Yeah. So it's like
it's a becoming process.
Yeah.
I always love to close by asking guests how they think about the word success, which is a good segue, I think, into that question. But to you, at this point in your life and career, what does that word mean to you? What does success mean to you?
When I can retire my mother, maybe I'll slow down a little bit because, my feelings be hurting sometimes when I'm not making enough money in comedy. My mom looking for a second job, like a part-time job. Mom, you're 65. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not working hard enough. So shit, when she can finally sit and rest and stop working comfortably, where she can go October at an island. You know how people say the month. Rich white people say the month. We're Augustine and fucking St. Augustine. Get the fuck out of here. Like, so we're Julying, and when my mother can go July somewhere else and not have to worry about any money because her son is good, then maybe I've reached a level of success that I can finally go, all right, maybe I can calm down a little bit. But until then, you want the people closest to you to be comfortable. And me and my friends can go on the road and we all making thousands upon thousands and millions of dollars, maybe, is that success? Or when I can, put it to you like this, I already feel successful on a level of, I got eczema and I told enough jokes for the last 5 years that I got the insurance to pay for the expensive ass eczema medication I have to take to keep my skin clean. Like that's a level of success. It's like, I was able to afford my own. I fixed my skin. That's successful. But, successful is subjective, sort of, right? Is that
for sure? For sure.
It's like there's levels of it. And that's the crazy part. Different levels mean you got to keep working because there's always something. Like success is when, you wake up and you're not thinking about, your special dropping and nobody sees it. Or you wake up knowing that you can afford the rent for the next year and a half or stuff like that. That's little New York things. And then overall, I guess success would be, in the words of the late great Patrice O'Neal, I was righteous. Not God righteous, but I was righteous to me. I did right by me without doing wrong by you. And I always took that to the bank. Like, I was my true self in front of these motherfuckers, and I never fronted, and I did it the way I wanted to do it. And then I was appreciated for it. And even if I wasn't, people knew what the fucking deal was. Like, that nigga, he goes hard. And he don't cower to nothing, or he don't front for nobody. That motherfucker's a full vibe, and he's a killer beast on the mic. And, when your name can run like that on that legendary level, then I guess you're pretty successful.
Genuine, authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Derek, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro.
It's a good time.